Well, off to Ohio. I thought I was off to Ohio really early. And I get pulled over. Pulled over going past where the turn to Tamiko Training Center is. Now, one, I never usually speed in that area. And two, I didn't realize I was speeding. You know, I've been pulled over before. I have. But usually I earned it, right? You drive by a car and you're like, yep, I was going too fast. I absolutely had no idea. I'm not going to tell you how fast I was going, but I had no idea I was speeding. I see the cop coming, and I go, I pull over like everybody, and he pulls in behind me. I'm like, what's this? Gentleman comes up to the window. He stays in his car for like 3-4 minutes. You know, usually when they're running your plates or whatever, he stays in his car. And it's starting to freak me out a little bit. I'm like, what's this guy doing? Like, why is he in my... Why is he staying in his car? All of a sudden he gets out, comes to the window. I said, license and registration, sir. I said, yeah, I give him my license and registration. He said, pulling you over for speeding. Okay. He said, that's not the worst thing. I said, excuse me? He said, this license plate is not registered on this car. I said, pardon me? He said, this plate is registered to Amy McDonald. I assume your wife? I said, yes, sir. He said, but it's not registered on this Cadillac. I said, I don't mean to be that guy, officer, but that's absolutely impossible. He said, well, I am that guy. And not only is it possible, but it's fact. He said, this plate is not supposed to be on this car. I said, listen, I swear to God, I've never touched the license plate. Then there's actually a voice in my head saying, is this an April Fool's joke? Do I know this guy? So now I'm looking at him. I'm like, I'm completely befuddled. I don't know what is going on. So I literally call Amy. And I'm like, honey, do you know what's going on with this plate? She has no idea. I said, officer, I swear to God. He goes, well, I know you didn't just take a plate. He said, obviously, this plate is registered to your wife. It's just not registered to this car. I said, well, there's only one way that could have happened. I said, the dealership screwed up. Because now that I say it out loud, I don't think I've been ever pulled over in this car in this country. I said, I'll admit, I got the odd ticket in maybe one state. But I have never... This plate is the one that came with this car. So I call the dealer, and I know the dealer quite well. He sold my car, my wife's, our last 3 vehicles probably, the trucks that we have. I call him, I'm like, hey man, what is going on with this plate? He goes, did you buy this car during COVID? I said, yes. He said, well, obviously we were understaffed and we were going through a lot. Could have there been a mistake made? Yes. So the police officer's hearing all this. He goes, well, can you go and fix the plate? I said, officer, can you do me a favor? He goes, what's that? I said, I'm on my way to Ohio right now. I train horses. My wife and I have horses on both sides of the border. I have to be there tonight, which obviously is not completely correct, but pretty much. And I certainly don't want to go to the DMV at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, can I just do this when I get home? He said, that's no problem. He said, I'll write you up a warning for the ticket. The reason I'm doing that is a lot of the police cars now they have the license plate readers on them. So as you're going down the road, it's scanning all these license plates. And he said, you may get a police officer that turns around and pulls you over for the same thing. I said, okay, I'll take care of it right away. And the dealer's on the phone. He's like, we'll get to the bottom of this, officer. No problem. So he writes me up. He reduces the fine. Very nice gentleman. Reduces the fine. I apologize. Like I said, I never... Yeah, I speed once in a while. You guys know that. Once in a while I'll talk about getting pulled over, but I haven't been pulled over in Canada since COVID, I don't think. And not in this car, in this country. Clearly. Or I would have known that the license plate on my car is not this car's license plate. Unbeknownst to me. So, a little bit of a scare as I headed to Ohio, and I ended up with a $50 ticket. I'll pay that when I'm stationary. But a little bit of a scare otherwise. It'll get fixed, not the end of the world, but not the only mistake that was made today. Oh my God. You guys dropped the ball too, by the way. So when we talk about breeding, there are people that I defer to, right? First two that come to mind are Steve and Alan. These are guys that breed horses, that understand breeding, that have all the computer programs and charts, and I don't need to know that information. There's stuff that okay, well, I want where you are, and you want where I am. There we go. Now you figured it out. And I get a ticket. They know, right, the breeding. They can look it up. They enjoy doing that. It's just information that I don't feel is necessary for me to know. You're either an expert or you're not, and I'm far from an expert, and nor do I want to be an expert in breeding. It's so subjective. I enjoy having conversations with both of them about horses, but I don't profess to be an expert in breeding. I defer when it comes to breeding. So you guys know that I had bought a green shoe breeding the other day. I thought it was a great deal. It was like 20-some% off. It's $25,000 to breed to green shoe. I think Steve paid $30, if I'm not mistaken, the year before. And it was on gate for 17 grand. I bought them. I bid. It was at 16.5 or 16.8, whatever it was. I bid 17. I got the breeding. So, you know, it says on the little blurb there, if your mare's old, I guess, you have to ask. So when the gentleman that owned the breeding emailed me, just give me a number, give me the name of the mare, where she's at, and we'll get you set up. We'll get the contract drawn up. Now, I don't know if they do investigating aside from the age, or whether they look to make sure that a mistake wasn't made with the breeding. You'll understand why in a minute. But they sent me the contract. Hanover sent me the contract, or they were going to send me the contract. So the way it works is I had to pay 10% down, so I had to send $1,700 to the gentleman who owned the breeding, and 30 days after the live foal is born, in that time frame, we're responsible to pay the other $15,300. It's pretty standard. Contract could go out. He said no problem for path of totality. I said, hey, if for some reason we opt not to breed path of totality, will globetrotting do? Yes, that'll do. But he had to check with somebody, or I don't know. I get an email from one of our clients, Barry. Thank you, Barry, by the way. Said, Anthony, does it not bother you that green shoe is out of a Donato Hanover mare and path of totality is by Donato Hanover? That seems pretty close, but I don't know. I would have thought that Hanover would have flagged it. I gave the gentleman my mare's name, so clearly they looked her up. I know it's not their job, but would they have bred this mare if it was too close? He said, geez, you'd think, but everybody's busy, right? He said, for me, it's way too close. And I'll be honest, yeah, it seemed close, but all right, whatever. So again, sent a message. I was going to send a message off. I said, I'm going to be calling Steve in a minute, but you know what? I'll send Alan a message right now, because Steve's at work, I think, and actually Alan's at work also. Sorry, Alan. Alan says, oh yeah, that's way too close. I said, oh my God. So, now luckily, it's not our only broodmare. That would have really sucked. But we have 7 other broodmares. That'll be fine. I think they're fine. Globetrotting was bred to Kings County, and quite frankly, between you and I hope she's in full. I want to have Kings County have the best shot at doing good for us as he can, and breeding one of our best mares, if not our best mare, to him would be important. So Globetrotting was bred to Kings County. If for some reason she doesn't catch, I suppose we could use this breeding for her, and so on and so forth. The Revenue mare, State Park S, I don't see why that wouldn't be. Again, I'm going to talk to Steve and Alan and a couple of other clients that breed. I don't know what cross is best with green shoe, but I'd rather not have a mentally handicapped horse with 2 tails and 4 ears. So path of totality cannot be bred to, and I didn't pick up, and by the way, you didn't pick up on it either. Only one of you. 900 clients. Barry, if there was a door prize, I would send it to you. I don't have one. I'm sure we can figure something out. Send you a hat or something. Hell of a job, Barry. Everybody else, you failed. It's a trick question. A skill testing question. No, I never noticed. It happens. It's not the end of the world. But thank you very much, Barry, for making sure that was brought to our attention, because I had no idea. So there was that. 2 little screw-ups for today. One will be rectified as soon as I get back to the dealership. The other one will be rectified as soon as we find the proper mare for the green shoe breeding. It doesn't matter. All the mares we have, I'm happy. I like the green shoes we have. I'll be honest, James is a little on the fence about them because they were so hard to break. The 2 here, the 4 we had over there were hard to break, but they're going great now. And I talked to my brother Mark too. He said the people he's talked to love the green shoes they have also. So anytime you can get a top flight, this is a world champion, one of the best horses in the world at the time he was racing. You know, I have no problem. It was a huge discount. Of course, I'm happily have the breeding. So, those were the screw-ups. What else do we have? We went with Hallie in the Clouds in the mud today. Made sure that she was comfortable in her hobbles because she's going to wear them. I just had enough. You know, there has to be a point, a boiling point where, like, all right, we can't keep saying she's just green and making mistakes over and over again. We said we were going to, I planned on going with J-Port Beach Boy, McPaisley, and Hallie today, but it was muddy. There's no point going with J-Port Beach Boy and Hallie. Their mistakes were mechanical mistakes, and going with them in the mud isn't really going to fix anything. It doesn't really give you a true barometer of if they've improved or not. So, James will try and go with one of those on Friday. I'll be back Friday. And the qualifiers are this week. Now, Mario's told me he's gone away. It's Easter weekend, right? Him and his family are together. And being in horse racing, you'd think as a Catholic I would know this, but being in horse racing, not a whole lot of breaks. So we're going to be in Ohio for the weekend. I will train Brace for Landing again at first line, probably 2 minutes or 2-1 on Friday, and then just put him into qualify. And actually, there's no rush with him to go with him, but I do want to keep him going on that schedule. He just trained so great last week. I will be there Friday. Now Saturday, I plan on coming to Ohio. Amy and I and the kids are going to Ohio, spend the weekend stateside. We're going to go and train the babies on Saturday, and then Amy said she wants to be back in the barn for Monday to be at work because Kent and Tiger, although she doesn't take care of either of them, she's going to be there, and she wants to be there for the other horses on Monday. So Sunday night we're going to be heading back, but Mario can't qualify Warwi Uri, so James is going to qualify Warwi Uri on Saturday. I told him, I said, Emily knows how to put all the gear on them. Just set the hobbles on the bike. They don't have to be specially set. Just set them on nice and qualify them. 1 mile and 2-1, so that in James speak, that'd be 2-4, I suspect. He's been in 2-2 twice now, so we'll see how he qualifies on Saturday. Now Sunday, we plan on training. Can't train her tomorrow because it's going to pour rain, but the filly Cash Deals. I don't really have much interest in going down to London to race her, so why don't we just train her up real good on Thursday at the farm and race her Sunday night. Now, if we're coming back Sunday night, I could potentially drive her. Or Preston, Emily takes care. So Emily and Preston are a couple. Preston is our blacksmith. You've seen him drive some horses from time to time in Ontario. And they can probably race the horse Sunday night and drive him. Do I need to drive Cash Deals? Probably not. But we'll see how that shakes down over the next 2 days. I guess entering her Thursday is important, so training her Thursday morning would be really important. Maybe what we'll do is draw her blood tomorrow, make sure she's well hydrated for Thursday morning, train her at the farm, probably 1 mile and 2.7 would be good, 2.8 at the farm. That's a good 3 day, 2.10, 3 days out. 210 should be lots to keep her tight, make sure her muscle count's all right also. So that's what we'll do in regards to this week. Now, a lot of people asking me about the horses getting ready. You know, Resolute Bay, that class, the thing is deep. Adair Castle is in that stake race coming up. So is Twin Bee Archie. So is Chris Christopherou's horse, who looked great qualifying yesterday. Also, you know, what are your thoughts? It's a tough bunch. It was my thought when we paid them into it. It's still my thought. You know, Mario came to me last week and said Gypsy was a little bit sick, and I wasn't able to train him. I said, Mario, I don't really care if he's ready for the Ontario graduate. Just use it as a couple of preps to get him back in the swing of things. There's no need to, you know, be in a big hurry to, you know, have a ticker tape parade because we're ready to race against, you know, 2 or 3 of the best horses Ontario had to offer last year. Safe Conduct, that's the name of the horse. So I said, just get the horse ready. It's no big deal. If he's coughing, just take it easy. Resolute Bay also, same thing. If you think Resolute Bay is going to step on the track at 8-5 against Adair Castle, Safe Conduct, and Twinbee Archie, think again. I told everybody when we paid into this stake that it was going to be a salty crew, and it's even saltier than I thought. So I'm not too concerned about Gypsy being ready or not. If he's ready and uses the second or third leg as a prep to get him back in shape for Ontario 2023, great. Fantastic. That's the plan with those horses. Same as More Than You Know. I actually wish Mario had to put him in Flamborough on Thursday. He entered him Saturday at Mohawk, as Jamestown to drive him also. Coming off a pretty sharp victory. He should be fine. You know, I just like the way things are going right now. Lucky with the speeding ticket half an hour ago. A little scared about the plate. We'll fix that. And then felt like a doofus when I found out about Path of Totality. Not using my head. It doesn't matter. I would have bought her anyway. She was just the first mare that came to mind. She was just the first mare that came to mind when we bought the breeding. I would have bought it anyway. So we'll breed someone. Not sure who yet, but someone to Green Shoe this year. And then the updates. Hallie in the Clouds was great today. I know James was shaking his head when he saw them go down the track with the hobbles on. I told him, not playing around. You work bad on Tuesday, work better on Wednesday. That's the way it is. Or Monday, Tuesday in this case. Hallie just need a little help. A little frustrating, but she is, you know, an immature horse. Sometimes, you know, especially fillies can get a little stubborn. Not meant in any way, sexist or otherwise, just saying. Get a little stubborn, and sometimes they need a little help. So, the hobbles went on her today. She looked great on the track today. We'll get J-Port square. And I don't even know if there's anything wrong with J-Port, because he's been great up until the other day he made a break. And McPaisley, I know what's going on there. It's just going to take minor tweaking until we get her confidence up also. So, 3 minor things to work on here in Ontario. We're going to find out if there's anything we need to work on moving forward tomorrow in Ohio. We got Per Lucky tonight. We got a Grand Slam of 4 tomorrow at Northfield Park. It should be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it. I'm watching my speed. I'm excited about it. Can't wait. It's just a beautiful time of year. Every time the sun comes out in April, especially when the babies and the 3-year-olds are going good, it just brings a smile to my face. So I hope it brings a smile to your face. I hope you guys are having a great day. Take care. I will talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.